Let's see, Monica Dennington, followed by Brent Kleiman, followed by Wes Harris.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I wanted to say thank you to Representative Townsend, who so beautifully articulated our need to speak. And that is what this great nation is about, not silencing different ideas. And as the representative said, even atheists have given prayers in their gatherings, and nobody has had to have be offended or have a riot. So that's really not the issue. What I want to bring up today is the fact that the Satanic Temple, which is obviously the subject of this, brings up the need for this council to be able to use discretion in who is giving the invocation, and they illustrate it very well because they are a hate group, and specifically they are a misogynist group. If you look on the Facebook pages of Michelle Short and Stu DeHaan, which are the representatives that would like to pray over this council on February 17th, you will see images of Michelle Short in bondage, in nudity, in all kinds of positions that are not appropriate and that are degrading to another minority group, which is women and girls. We cannot stand by while a hate group who promotes violence against women stands up and gives your invocation. That is standing against the God of nature, which our forefathers pointed to. You know, in their wisdom, they knew that we would have varying ideas of who that God is, but we have a common morality. We have a common sense of what is decent. The founder or the national spokesperson for the Satanic Temple recently had arrest warrants issued from Meridian, Mississippi, because he and the Satanic Temple did a desecration of the gravesite of Fred Phelps' mother. He got the idea from Westboro Baptist. So following in the footsteps of hate, they decided to take revenge by desecrating that gravesite. One of the actions that was taken is that this leader, who is threatening to sue the city, he laid his genitalia on the gravesite and that on the gravestone. Now, these are the people that are wanting to pray.
Each, and we've gone well over the 2 minutes, so I
So
apologize.
all I want to say is thank you for having a common sense of decency, for standing up for that, and understanding that when you stand against hate groups, when you stand against groups that promote violence against women and girls, you are standing for the God of nature. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mayor, there are a couple of us who would like to ask.
Monica, if you could stay up for a second.
Do you have a question? Please go ahead.
Just so I want to make sure that you understand what's the motion on the table and what you're going to be told, okay, which I'm going to foreshadow this because this is what I do here. I mean, I expected this to occur last week when I was predicting that the city of Phoenix was going to move toward banning of all prayer. That's what this discussion is. This is what that Satanist group wants. When you read that, their bio in there, their main goal was to do what?
Their main goal is to silence any expression, any religious expression in public life, and they do that by creating an impossible choice, which is that we either cannot express ourselves in our spirituality and share those ideas with one another in public, or we have to accept the most extreme, blasphemous, and obscene, according to Arizona law, obscene expressions right next to all of our expressions of faith.
So just to be clear, though, too, from your reading of that, and I appreciate the fact that you actually read it, because I don't know how many people do. When they read that, they will get the same impression that you got out of this, out of that satanic group. And I do agree with you that it is a cult. It's not a real religion. It just isn't. But their main goal, and I want to drive this home, is to silence the other side. And that's done through a moment of prayer, or it's done through a banning. Basically, a moment of prayer, a moment of silence is basically a banning of prayer. I just want to make sure people understand that that's what this discussion is. It's to agree to the satanic goal to ban prayer.
Exactly. And to silence women and to promote violence against women. By the way, Michelle Short, who would be presiding, she has a picture on her website of herself beheading another woman. It's bloody, there are gashes, and in the light of the current situation with ISIS and everything else, it's not only distasteful and violent, it could considered to be by a woman like me to be terrorism.
Mayor,
Councilor Nowakowski has a question.
you said that this was a hate group, and you gave some examples. Do you have any other examples?
Yes, I do. There is a podcast with Lucian Greaves is the pseudonym of the national spokesman. His real name is Doug Messner, or one of them, Doug Messner. In that, I have it here. Among other things, he uses racial slurs. He uses slurs against Jews. He uses slurs against gays. And he talks about various ways that are horribly lewd and obscene to use whores. The host in that podcast is talking about a rape book, which he's put together, which is not anything that's, it is as offensive as it sounds. And he's laughing also, along with the host, as they start out the podcast by saying, on 9/11, we would like everyone to know that we're praying for the victims of 9/11. And then they laugh in mockery, and then they say, we don't care about 9/11. We couldn't care less how many buildings burn. We don't care how many people die. And then Doug Messner pipes up and says, as long as it's a lot.
Right, any additional questions, Councilman Nowakowski? Councilman DeCiccio, please.
One last one, too, just so that you know and you see how this thing is going to be set. You're going to be told that if we ban prayer here at the City of Phoenix, this issue will go away. Well, of course it will, because that's what the Satanists want, correct?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.